Goal takes a look at the biggest transfer news and rumors from the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A and beyond. Updated 1857-817. The 2nd of January 2019. Rangers have completed the signing of 16-year-old Nathan Young-Coombes from Chelsea. The forward has represented the Blues and Crystal Palace at youth level but has made the switch to Glasgow on a 2.5-year contract. At RFC_youth have signed England youth internationalist Nathan Young-Coombes from at Chelsea FC until 2021, subject to international clearance. Pic.twitter.com/NBFSwap. Rangers Youth Academy at RFC_youth. February 1, 2019. Mario Balotelli and Marseille have both been on a rapid decline in recent years, but could their new partnership spark a turnaround in their fortunes? The Italian striker had a disastrous start to the season with Nice but has already scored his first goal for Marseille since his recent move. Given the 28-year-old's volatility and Marseille's recent struggle, their coming together is either a disaster waiting to happen or the revival of past glories. Champions League progress will seal Norwegian's future. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's audition for the job as permanent Manchester United coach will hinge on 2 games, the Champions League knockout tie against Paris Saint-Germain. With 8 wins and a draw from his first 9 games, the Norwegian has had a great impact at Old Trafford since replacing Jose Mourinho on a caretaker basis. As the Red Devils Chiefs continue their search for a full-time option to take over at the helm next season, The Sun claims they have not ruled Solskjaer out. Indeed, they are said to have decided he will be offered the job if he guides them past PSG in second round of Europe's top club competition. DC. United forward Wayne Rooney believes his teammate Luciano Acosta will one day end up at a big club. Acosta nearly joined PSG on deadline day, only for the 24-year-old's transfer to fall through at the last minute. Read what Rooney and DCU manager Ben Olsen said about the Argentine star right here. Roma are already searching for a replacement for manager Eusebio Di Francesco, according to Calcio Mercato. Di Francesco is understood to have lost the locker room, and a 7-1 hammering at the hands of Fiorentina this week has not helped his cause. Paulo Sousa is favored by the club's board to replace Di Francesco, but Roberto Donatoni, Laurent Blanc and Gian Piero Gasparini are also in the mix. Bayern Munich will return in the summer with a fresh bid for Chelsea winger Callum Hudson-Odoi. The Sun claims Hudson-Odoi was left disappointed as Chelsea rejected his transfer request to join the Bavarians in January, but the German champions are not giving up. The 18-year-old has a year and a half left on his contract, and Bayern believe that a £25 million $33 million offer in the summer could convince Chelsea to sell. Arsenal head coach Unai Emery has admitted he wanted 3 new signings during the January transfer window. Despite his wish, Arsenal only made 1 signing last month, as Denis Suarez arrived on loan from Barcelona until the end of the season. Read Emery's thoughts on his side's window. Right here. Arsenal manager Unai Emery has told Mesut Özil that arrival of Denis Suarez will not have an impact on his playing time. The Gunners landed Suarez from Barcelona on deadline day, and the midfielder could make his debut on Sunday against Man City. Read Emery's thoughts on Suarez's role and how it impacts Özil right here. Everton manager Marco Silva insists that Idrissa Gueye is happy at Everton despite the club denying him a move to Paris Saint-Germain. The League One side made a push for Gueye on deadline day, but the Toffees turned down all approaches for the midfielder. Read what Silva said about his star midfielder right here. A title winner in 3 different nations, and the fulcrum of Paraguay's exciting young national team, Miguel Almiron can now boast of a new distinction. He has just become the most expensive player in Major League Soccer history. And he is now about to take the Premier League by storm at Newcastle, as Goal explains. Wishing you all the best for the future, at Fellaini. A big thank you for everything. The Belgium international eventually linked up with Crystal Palace on deadline day, but only after Spurs had been quoted 4 times as much £8 million to do the same deal. Manchester United are preparing to part with Antonio Valencia, Matteo Darmian and Marcos Rojo over the summer, according to the Manchester Evening News. The Red Devils are already in the process of offloading Marouane Fellaini and will look to move more senior stars out once their contracts expire or interest is shown from afar. Former West Brom defender Jonas Olsson is to be brought back to English football by Wigan, according to The Sun. The 35-year-old Swede has been turning out in his homeland for Djurgårdens but is considered to be a useful short-term option for the Latics. Denis Suarez may be little more than a squad player at Arsenal, says Alan Smith, with business during the January window doing little to inspire confidence. The Spain international midfielder was the only player to be added to the ranks at Emirates Stadium before the deadline passed, with a loan deal struck with Barcelona. Here's what a former Gunners striker has had to say on a lack of movement. Mesut Özil was linked with a move away from Arsenal in January, but a buyer was not found due to his massive salary. What does that mean for the Gunners, as Unai Emery is let to manage a player he has nudged down the pecking order at Emirates Stadium? Goal takes a look. Phil Jones is hoping to earn a new contract at Manchester United, with the long-serving defender set to become a free agent at the end of the season. He told Sky Sports, "Of course I do want to stay, it's Man United. This club has been part of my life for many years now. I love the club, the fans, the players. Check out the full story here." Luis Suarez is hoping to retire as a Barcelona player, with the Uruguay international admitting it would be the greatest thing to spend the rest of his career at Camp Nou. The 32-year-old striker told Sport to finish at the best club in the world would be the greatest thing, but that will be difficult as very few have achieved it before. Read the full story on Goal. Sven Mislintat's poor relationship with PSG boss Thomas Tuchel may have affected Arsenal's failure to sign Christopher Nkunku, according to the BBC. The winger was set to depart in the wake of Luciano Acosta's move to the French capital, a deal which never materialized. Tuchel and head of recruitment Mislintat are said to have a strained relationship, and that could have made the difference, says BBC Sport's David Ornstein. There's politics at play here, at BBC Sport_David says. The Frenchman is on a season-long loan at San Siro, and after a slow start has quickly become a key member of Gennaro Gattuso's first team. Sporting director Leonardo says a permanent deal for Bakayoko will only be possible if the club qualify for the Champions League. Milan are fourth in Serie A, a point ahead of Roma, but the midfielder is trying not to become distracted. "I heard what Leonardo said, but I'm not in a position to talk about it. It's an issue that concerns Milan and Chelsea," Bakayoko told Corriere dello Sport. "Staying at Milan is my dream and the fixed thought in my mind, but I have a contract with Chelsea. Right now I just want to finish the season in the top four. After that we'll think about it." Newcastle held off interest from 4 other Premier League sides to sign Miguel Almiron from Atlanta United. The Toon broke their transfer record when they paid £20 million to $26 million to acquire the Paraguayan on deadline day. And agent Daniel Campos says there were other English sides keen on the attacker. "There were 4 other teams in the Premier League that were interested in Miguel," he told radio station Futbol 970. "For different reasons, nothing was settled. I know Rafael Benitez and he had been following Miguel for quite some time." Cardiff boss Neil Warnock says a number of forwards did not want to join the club in the wake of Emiliano Sala's disappearance. The Argentine striker remains unfound after his plane went missing last week over the Channel Islands as he prepared to complete his move to South Wales. Warnock says the Bluebirds tried to acquire cover, but the meant many turned down their offer. "1 or 2 of the strikers we were talking about didn't really want to come in the circumstances," the 70-year-old said. "They didn't want to come in after what's happened. So it's been a very difficult window." Chelsea had a £2 million ($2.6 million) offer for Bristol City youngster Antoine Semenyo rejected on deadline day. The Blues and Manchester United have been tracking the teenage forward. And though a bid from the Blues was knocked back, they plan to reignite their interest in the summer when his contract expires, according to Team Talk. Stoke have announced the signing of Manchester City youngster Ryan Corrigan. The 18-year-old will go into the club's academy after securing his move from the Bet365 stadium on deadline day. Formerly of Everton, the Irishman has applied his trade in the under-18 Premier League where he has made 30 outings in the last 2 campaigns. Police Carlisle Stoke City have completed the signing of teenage fullback Ryan Corrigan from Hitman City. https://t.co/idwh65house2. Rumours that the Brazilian wants to return to the Catalan Giants have been abound almost ever since the forward broke the world transfer record to move to Paris Saint-Germain. Read what the Barca striker has to say on the prospect of the move right here on Goal. Announcements of new signings may have peaked a few years ago, remember Aston Villa's WhatsApp group, but Burnley have brought new life to the phenomenon after confirming the signing of Peter Crouch. The 38-year-old has returned to the Premier League from Stoke City to try and help the Clerics stay afloat this term. See for yourself how they chose to mark the arrival of the England forward. Announcing Robot face at Peter Crouch pic.twitter.com/@BurnleyFC @BurnleyOfficial January 31, 2019 Emiliano Sala was being lined up for a future move to Premier League heavyweights Chelsea and Liverpool, prior to the completion of his move to Cardiff. The Argentine went missing early last week after the plane carrying him and pilot David Ibbotson lost contact over the Channel Islands. And in a leaked email published by L'Équipe agent Willie McKay admitted he had spoken to a host of sides regarding the striker. As far as you're concerned, we have talked to all the clubs, including Manchester, Chelsea, Liverpool, wrote McKay. We think you could end up in such clubs. Searches for the 28-year-old will resume on Sunday after moments of quiet reflection were held ahead of Premier League games across the country. Manchester United club captain Antonio Valencia turned down a deadline-day exit from Old Trafford. The fullback is out of favour under interim boss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and has only started 5 Premier League games this season. The Sun understand Newcastle and Fulham were both thought to be keen on the Ecuador international, but he rebuffed the offers as he prepares to run down his contract. Fire 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 https://t.co/lembfdsqpq Sunderland AFC @Sunderland FC February 1, 2019 Maurizio Sarri's Chelsea have been found out, says Graham Lasso, with the man at the helm set to become the subject of exit talk unless he moves away from the madness of a system that is not working. The former Blues defender told the Daily Express, is Sarri prepared to have a bumpy ride like the one he is going through, because he believes that the end result is worth it? It is a risky path for me. Read the full story on Goal. Southampton turned down loan approaches for Charlie Austin from 4 Premier League clubs on transfer deadline day, reports Sky Sports. The Saints striker was a man in demand, but he remains at St Mary's and is ready to fight for his place. Handshake welcome wig. https://t.co/2boogie7vjl Nottingham Forest FC @NFFC February 1, 2019 Marouane Fellaini was effective for Manchester United, says Leon Osman, but the Red Devils are sanctioning a switch to China as they require players who are more technically gifted. It is expected that the 31-year-old will link up with Shandong Luneng, with Goal revealing that talks have been opened. Here is what a former Everton teammate of the Belgium international has had to say on the move. Manchester United remain optimistic regarding their chances of getting David De Gea to sign a contract extension. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said of talks with the goalkeeper, who is tied to the Red Devils until 2020, the club's working on a few players. I don't know how far we are, but it's a statement from the club. We want to keep our best players. Manchester City are preparing to open contract talks with Fabian Delph, claims The Sun. The England international's current deal is due to expire in the summer of 2020, and the reigning Premier League champions are eager to tie a versatile performer to fresh terms. Arsenal turned down the chance to sign Malcolm on loan from Barcelona. The Gunners did acquire Denis Suarez for the rest of the season, but the Brazilian did not follow him. According to The Sun, the cash-strapped North London outfit balked at the fee being demanded by the Camp Nou club and pulled out of negotiations. Gary Cahill remains a Chelsea player after turning down a move to Fulham, according to Sky Sports. The Blues and Fulham even agreed terms over a permanent move, but Cahill was unable to accept a contract. Monaco were also left disappointed by the 33-year-old's decision to remain at Stamford Bridge. The England international is valued at £90 million. Manchester United are tracking Jadon Sancho with a view to making a bid this summer, according to Metro. The 18-year-old has enjoyed a fine spell at Borussia Dortmund since leaving Manchester City in 2017. Dortmund values Sancho at £90 million, €103 million per $117 million, but United's desire to reassert their dominance could lead to them matching that fee. Everton turned down a last-gasp bid from Paris Saint-Germain for midfielder Idrissa Gueye, according to BBC Sport. The Senegal international handed in a transfer request in an effort to move to the French capital. An offer of £26.2 million, €30 million per $34 million, was submitted late on deadline day but was knocked back by the Merseysiders. PSG had previously failed with a bid of £21.5 million on Thursday. RB Leipzig turned down approaches from the likes of Everton and Southampton for striker Jean-Kevin Augustin, according to The Sun. West Ham were also thought to be interested but eventually turned their attention to Michy Batshuayi, who they also failed to sign. The Bundesliga side view the 21-year-old as being key to their attempts to qualify for the Champions League, hence his retention. Tottenham striker Sean Harrison is close to sealing a loan move to A-League side Melbourne City. The Sydney Morning Herald reports the 21-year-old attacker, who has played just one senior game for Spurs, will join the Australian club once he receives visa clearance. Melbourne City is also the home of Aston Villa defender Richie De Laet, with the club managed by former Manchester United youth coach Warren Joyce. Harrison spent last season on loan in League One with Southend United but failed to strike across 13 appearances. Crystal Palace have struck a deadline day coup as the Eagles snapped up Chelsea's Michy Batshuayi on a loan deal until the end of the season. The striker had been looking for a way out of his failed loan at Valencia, with Chelsea even talking to rivals Tottenham over a potential deal. Batshuayi will remain in London, but will do so with Crystal Palace, rather than Spurs, as he looks to revive his career in the Premier League. Read the full story here on Goal. Inter boss Luciano Spalletti insists Ivan Perisic was conned, that the club have to get him back on track after the midfielder had his head turned by interest from Arsenal in the January transfer window. Reports had claimed the Serie A club rejected a loan offer for the Croatia international, which included an option of a permanent deal for €40 million, £35 million per $46 million in the summer, although Inter director Piero Wasilio revealed they had received no suitable offers. And Spalletti has now claimed it was not a true offer, and that his player was conned. Read the full story here on Goal. Fulham have announced the signing of Lazar Markovic on a free transfer from Liverpool until the end of the season. The winger will join the London club on a free transfer.